Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Force here with some more Sir, You Are Being Hunted. I'd like to take you through some island discovery. I'm on a brand new island. This is actually the northern island in my archipelago. Is that an artifact already? Wow, very nice. So I just wanted to take you through and actually hopefully give you guys some tips when it comes to playing Sir. There's a few things that I picked on. I've played this game quite a bit this week, and I wanted to give you guys just some general information in terms of how I've managed to make the gameplay a little bit smoother and a little bit less repetitive, because there's definitely, you can run around meandering about and take forever to find artifacts, and even just inventory management is a big time sink in this game. But there's a few things, again, that I found that will help make that entire process and everything that you do here a little bit easier. So since we have an artifact here, why don't we talk about how to actually retrieve artifacts. So whenever there are artifacts scattered throughout the islands, they're always going to be guarded by, I found that there are at least 2 robots, and sometimes there's even a guard dog. Now the guard dogs, at least now in the alpha, they don't actually do any damage, but what they do is they'll run up to you and they'll pin you on the ground, and this stops you from running away and allows the robots to catch up. So you obviously want, you want to try to sneak, right? But they're constantly turning around, and if their vision is facing you, as close as I am right now, they're going to be able to see me as long as their vision cone is facing in my direction. So at this point, what I would do is use the distraction item. Definitely pretty much a mandatory thing to be carrying at any time. So I'm going to use a distraction item. I'm going to throw it on the other side of those rocks there, so that they run in that direction and I can make my way a little bit closer. Now the biggest thing with the distraction item, it actually doesn't buy you a lot of time, but it buys you enough time to get close enough to try to get the first shot off, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to try to continue to sneak here and just get close enough with the shotgun to hopefully try to get a one-shot kill on one of these robots. Okay, so we are really close right now to the artifact. I have not found it useful to try to throw a distraction item and then get the artifact while they're distracted. You technically could do that and run away, but I haven't found it very reliable. So that is why I suggest just sneaking and killing. That's pretty much my standard. Also, melee weapons are nice because it's a one-shot kill and it saves ammunition. Now, bandages. I guess this is a good time to talk about the necessaries. I think there's a few items that you absolutely must carry with you at all times. Obviously, having a weapon is nice, pistol or shotgun. I carry both with me personally. The melee weapon, as you saw there, can be super useful because you're able to get a one-shot kill and it saves ammunition. You don't waste any ammo in doing it. Ammo is very scarce. I know that you just saw me with a pistol with 28 rounds in it. Don't think that that's the standard, because it is definitely not. Also, when you throw a weapon in your inventory, it will convert it automatically into rounds, which is nice to have. Yeah, but don't think that is the standard, because it is not. Ammo is very scarce. It's just, I've discovered a fair bit. You can see I've already found 16 artifacts here, and there's only 9 of them remaining. Actually, in one moment, there will only be 8 of them remaining. Fragments. I kept calling them artifacts. So yeah. It's pretty scarce, so it's nice to have a melee weapon. Besides the weapons, consumables, you gotta have those with you at all times to keep your vitality up. Also, if you bleed out, you need a high vitality to restore health. Now, bandaging does not restore health. All bandaging does is stop bleeding. So once you get shot and you start bleeding, you've got to bandage up, and if your vitality is low, you have to consume something to get that back up. If either your health or your vitality go down to 0, then you die. It's either starving to death or bleeding out. Distraction items, as I mentioned, can be very useful. And then bandages. You must have at least 2, if not 3 bandages with you at any given time. Because again, bleeding out will kill you, and getting shot will cause you to bleed out a good portion of the time. It's not 100% you can get shot and not bleed out, but I found that most of the time that I get shot, I bleed out, especially if they're within close proximity. So there you go. All right, so we found our first fragment on the island. Since this is an offshoot island, there are only 4 fragments on it. So let's keep moving and see what else we can find. I doubt that in this video I will find all 4 fragments, but I'm going to try to get at least 1 or 2 more if I can. The offshoot islands are also smaller, which makes finding things easier. I don't think that is a smoke plume. So you're looking for white smoke plumes. There are black smoke plumes, but those are just for campfire locations. which it's not the same. So you're looking for white smoke plumes, which will direct you to the nearest by fragment. It just comes up right from the fragment location. And like I said, you're always going to want to expect there to be at least 2 robots there, sometimes a guard dog as well. There's a 3rd bandage, very nice to have. Everything else here is pretty much just junk. I haven't found any use for any of those other items in this game. These sheds typically have 1 door. I have found ones with 2 doors, and I'd really like to find a town too, because I figured out a really good way to cut back on the repetitiveness of constantly going back to town and searching through every building. Because when you go to town and you search through the buildings, you know, there'll be items that you could use, but you only have so much inventory space, so you always can't take them with you. So I found that consolidating them in one of the biggest houses that you can find is can be very, very beneficial. And if I don't get to show you that here, the basic idea is that you find a building with a lot of storage space, and you take all of the useful items and put that in that storage space. There you go, simple as that. I also like to save very often, unless I'm super confident that I can take another fragment. So typically after, I won't do it here in this video, but typically like after I grab that first fragment, I would have normally run right back and saved right away, because if I die right now, I don't get that fragment. Now the good thing is I know its location, so I can just go back at any time. And I can just go back at any time and grab it and then move on if I had found the 2nd fragment location. But still, it's, why waste that time if you don't have to? Now, normally I like to start off with the outskirts of the island. I know I started going inland there a little bit, but I normally like to skirt along the outer edge of the island and look outwards towards any offshoot landmasses like that, and then inwards as well. And again, just looking for those white smoke plumes. High ground as best you can, always going to be the ideal thing, looking for that high ground. Okay, I see nothing over here at the moment, so we're going to continue to move in that direction, and then I just like to skirt right along the edge of the island, again, continuing to search, always looking behind me too, because you never know, if you catch a wrong angle and you look in a direction, you might not see that plume of smoke, but if you move forward a little bit and then you turn around again, it might just happen to be there one time. So I've never seen an instance as well where, like, for example, like on that island there, that little small island, if there was that fragment on the other side, the smoke plume would go up high enough. There's never been an instance where a hill on a small little offshoot island has been enough to obstruct my vision of a fragment. If it's there, you're going to see it. I guess that's not 100. I mean, it could not be 100%. And on my playthrough so far, it's worked out that way. Okay, so here we go. Another smoke plume right there. So that is going to be our 2nd fragment piece. And we do have the 2 robots over there as well, as expected. Before I go down into that location, I like to check right over here over the ledge just to see if there are any roaming robot packs. So robots function in a couple of ways. There are static ones that will be around fragments. Sometimes there will also be static ones in towns. And then there are roaming packs of robots, which usually consist of like 4 to 6 of them. And they just roam the landscape seemingly aimlessly. They might have search patterns, but it appears to be aimlessly. They just sort of walk the countryside, if you will. Good thing to check here. We got some distraction items. Got another bandage. Got a stone. Yeah, I'll grab that stone just for now. Nice to have that extra distraction. Let me check around this. Normally, I only see 1 door in these churches, so I don't expect there to be another one. And look, would you look at that? There wasn't. So just the 1 door here, not a lot. The great thing about the churches, though, is that it's great storage space. So if you ever need a backup storage location, these churches are, I think that's supposed to be a church, but these looking buildings, whatever you want to call it, they're a great place to store extra stuff. Okay. So you will have noticed you heard that robot beep. I'm standing up, and even if I'm hiding behind shrubbery, if I'm standing up, robots within my range will see me. The second you hear a beep, or even the second you hear the robot sounds, it's a good idea to duck, especially if you don't know where they are, because you don't want to get shot and not even know where it's coming from. That just really puts you at a disadvantage. As much as possible, you want to know where they are and predict any upcoming engagement. And you'll just have noticed that they actually just beeped again while I was moving forward. So that tells me that he can definitely detect me. Here, see that again? There it is. Okay, so he saw me. So at this point, I'm not in a good spot to shoot them. So I am going to run away. I'm going to drop a trap, and then I'm going to wait for him here. And let's see if he continues to come. Looks like he's actually disengaged. Okay, so we can grab our trap back, which we just need to use that there. And then we will move in. Now, the reason I chose to run there instead of staying to shoot, running a lot of the time is a good idea in this game, to be honest with you, but I had really no good vision as to where they were, and they can shoot me clear as day because they've got robot vision, I guess. So staying there, I would have to run up to them, giving them extra time to shoot me before I could even see them well enough to get any shots off. So at that point, it's just like run away, try to get a good vantage point before you turn to engage. And I'm just going to try to stay behind the line of sight of this tree here. Any physical objects are great to hide behind to break line of sight with these guys. So like this tree right here. As long as I keep him behind it from my vision, then he can't see me either. But this is where it gets a little bit more tricky. It pretty much works how you expect it to. Thicker shrubbery will cover you more. Okay, here we go. Oh no. Oh, I hope I don't get shot again. I'm at 5 health. Oh my lord. And I need vitality so that my health starts going back up. You notice it stayed at 5 while my vitality wasn't high, so you have to bandage up, and then you need your vitality high in order for you to regenerate health at all. And there was another robot there, but I guess he lost me, which, you know, good for me. And like I mentioned, had I died there, I would have gone all the way back to the starting boat. And I would have had to go back and take that first fragment and then make my way back here. I mean, the robots kill you so easily in this game. So you really, really do have to be mighty careful. And I actually don't know where he is. Like, at all. I'm gonna throw a distraction. He is nearby. Time to grab the artifact and run. I'm out of here. Alright, well, that is the second fragment, so now is the time to go back to the boat. And I guess we'll cut that video. Again, I just wanted to show you guys some more gameplay and talk a little bit about some of the things that I've picked up along the way in terms of helpful tips and hints. Save often. Always carry consumables, obviously a weapon, throwable, and 2 to 3 bandages. Bandages, super, super important. And use the axe. That's a great idea. Good idea to save yourself some ammunition. And save. Did I say save? Yeah, you should probably save as often as you can. Alright guys, well hopefully I make my trek back to the boat okay. I can save and then I'll have half the fragments here on this island. 2 of the 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning. Gosh, I hope that boat is nearby. Oh yeah, when you see robots, duck. Did I already say that? Just be scared of the robots, and you'll do all right.